Forgiveness is a profound proof of spiritual maturity. You are a businessman, you will need it. You are a leader, you will need it. You are a father, you will need it. How many hired servants, the prodigal son said, does my father have? And I am here sitting with the swine. I may not know many things about my father. I've been with the swine a long time, but there is something I know about him, that he is rich in mercy. Therefore I will arise and I will go to my father and I will say, Father, I have sinned against you and against heaven. I am not worthy to be called your son. Take me as one of your slaves. As soon as the father saw him afar off, the Bible says the father came and embraced him. You are messed up, but you are still my son. Listen to me. Sooner or later in your life, if it's not already happening to you right now, you're going to get to a point in your life where you will need to communicate forgiveness. Cheated in business, backstabbed politically, betrayed in ministry, taken advantage of. This is the world of men Jesus is teaching us. If I ask everybody to come and pick this mic and tell us the story behind your resentment for men, some of you concluded that all men are wicked and evil and devilish. I don't need any man. No, take it easy. God still uses men. Some of you is preachers you hate. When you see any man on stage, you curse him before you even know him. That's how they stole our money that year. Exactly. And the man can preach just like him. That's exactly. Listen to me, my brothers and my sisters, hear me. I bring you the word of the Lord. It is important for you, maintain, don't just receive forgiveness. Jesus was teaching here. He said, I am willing, the Father is willing to communicate forgiveness, but you must have this revelation forever, for as long as you are alive. Can I even tell you something? Your forgiveness will need to graduate into forbearance. Let me tell you the difference between forgiveness and forbearance. Forgiveness happens because of the limitations of men. Mistakes, limitations, ignorance, foolishness. Forbearance means that that weakness still remains in the person and you will have to live with it forever. That means it will be repeated again. This should be taught. Have you prayed for your son and you called him and said, why are you living like this? Why are you a bad boy? And he says, Daddy, I will never do it again. By evening, police is calling you. Evening, not the next day. Don't feel bad, please. If you have someone, that's why they are here. We'll pray for them. 6 o'clock, are you the owner of this child? Yes, sir. Please come to the, we are tired. If this boy, if he comes here again, we'll jail him. And you are standing there saying, I thought this guy just begged. At that point, you don't need forgiveness again. You need forbearance. He's a prodigal son, but he's still my son. Something happened, and I'm only going to say it because Archbishop Benson Idahosa is gone. And then, you know, years ago, this was from Duncan Williams himself. He said how that, I think it was Oral Roberts, I don't know, who came to Ghana and had a meeting. And while they were reporting the meeting, they made mistakes and they credited some of the churches that belonged to Bishop Duncan Williams to Oral Roberts. And when he heard it, he said no. He just tried to correct them sharply. And then when the report got to Oral Roberts, he said, no, why should this guy be doing this? And then he called on Archbishop Benson in Idahosa and said, why is your son behaving like this? I mean, you taught this guy well, he should behave well. And then Bishop Benson Idahosa called him as his son to rebuke him. And he said, I will not come. Duncan Williams, in his own words, leave me alone, I will not come. You are not God. And he said, all right, from today, you're on your own. It didn't take 2 years. Everything was pursuing him, from government to demons, to principalities, nature, men, everything. I mean it. He got to a point where he prayed, he fasted. No matter what you do, if it's in disobedience, you will have to go back to the protocol of God's ordinance. You're not going to quietly manipulate God in the secret place when you are living largely. No, it doesn't work that way. The prodigal son can ask for forgiveness while he's with the swine, but for restoration he must still meet his father. Listen carefully. And then he now called, and it was difficult to now reach Benson Idahosa. His life had been so shattered. He was a shadow of himself. And then he heard that Archbishop Benson Idahosa was in London, and he booked a flight quickly. When he got there, he lay down flat on the ground and held his legs and said, no matter what happens, you are still my father. And he said, look what has happened to my life. And he said, Bishop Benson Idahosa just looked at him, and after a while took a deep breath. And here's all he said: Satan, this is the business between me and my son. The legal access you have, it is me he has offended. Leave two of us together. You can now go. You will need to obtain forgiveness many times in your lifetime. You will need to give forgiveness. Listen to me. There are people here who it's as though you would rather die than to forgive your wife or your husband or your children. No. This child wasted my school fees. I wasted money paying school fees. I didn't eat well. I paid school fees, and look the kind of result he brought. Let me tell you this. One of the most powerful words for me in the Bible is the word again. Again is a powerful word. It's the clearest description of hope. And Adam knew his wife again. The prodigal son again. The Lord is speaking to you here. You're under the sound of my voice, piling up a list of people. For as long as you pin people down, you too, you will remain down. You cannot rise when you are pinning others down. Apostle, you don't know what they did to me. Apostle, forgive us our trespasses. There are pastors today who hate others, talk about others, tear down others. I don't care whether you are right or wrong. It says forgive us as we forgive. When it has to do with offense, he's saying everybody's in the same basket. It's often said that if you point one finger at someone, is it 2 or 3 now? I don't know how many. A number of your fingers are pointing back at you. That is so true. In fact, ethically, some of you here are HR specialists, you are consultants, and I think there is a conflict management principle that HR people teach, that if you want to report someone who is a staff in a company, before you say one thing that is wrong against that person, you must say 3 things you like. That means if you are coming to meet the HR or the boss, before you say this person you are bad or he's a thief, if you cannot tell your boss 3 things about the person that is positive, he will send you away. He will say, complain the day you show me 3 other things that are good about the person. And they found out that it has improved the working relationship of many people within the company, because by the time you're researching and finding the things that are good, you will just see how minute that issue is, and you say, I forgive you. Use it for your company from tomorrow. Call them and tell them, I learned something. All of you come together. No more complain until it's ratio 3:1. Where sin abound, much more grace abound. So use that as a scriptural backing. Maintain an allowance for the humanity of men as you live in this world. Take away the godlike expectation that you have over men. Leave home. I remember one time someone called me. I got up, I think around maybe 2 or 3. I don't do much of sleep in the night, and I saw a text that was full of all kinds of things. You claim you're a man of God. I've been calling you. I was so tired, I was sleeping. This person insulted me and said, this, I'm calling you to pray. If my loved one dies, just know you killed my loved one. What is this now? I only slept. They say you pray in the night. Yes, it's true, but that day I was tired. Should I lie? I slept. Listen, it's good to expect so much, but you must have realistic, know the difference between realistic and unrealistic expectations. Are we together? There are people today who get angry at politicians. I gave you 50 names to give all of them a job. You only gave 5. What kind of person are you? Christians, I've tried my best. You are not the only one. Didn't I vote for you? Your vote is only one. Be patient. What of business people? You must have a large heart. Please listen to me. The humanity of men is something you must factor in your heart. Otherwise, you will have heart attack every day of your life. Every day. Every day.